one of the things that I usually tell somebody when I first start working with their horse is expect your horse to like me. And that's not meant to be in any way conceited. It's meant to say, I'm going to have a clear enough conversation with your horse. I'm going to make sure that everything that goes on with your horse and me is going to be with extreme clarity. And your horse will seek my guidance and will want to know where I am when they're confused. So a lot of times I'll hand off the horse to the owner, and the horse will kind of keep its gaze in my direction, like, where are you going? Like wanting to not lose that clarity. And I've only had one owner really kind of get twisted up about it. And then I've had another owner work through her struggle about it. And I've always told people, like, you've got to see that as like a review. You want your horse to like his trainer or her trainer. You want a good review from the individual that's most fairly giving the review, like most affected by the service should be the one that gives the review. Well, if your horse sees me and runs, or if your horse sees me and wants to charge, or if your horse sees me and, feels defensive or gets real anxious, well, that's feedback as far as I'm concerned. That's a review. That's a negative review. I wouldn't want your horse to give me a negative review. I'm actually super, super grateful that only one negative review I got, and that was because the owner didn't stick it out long enough to see that your horse was just reacting to somebody coming in and changing the dynamic or changing the order of rank, if you will. After 22 years of ownership, the horse had never had anybody come in and say, now listen, you're not going to push me around. The horse had spent most of his life being used to being allowed to push anybody around. So I only lost one customer who thought I was getting a bad review from their horse. And it would have changed. I mean, I have videos of one horse where you hear all in the beginning lessons, you're going to love me someday. I know you hate me right now, but you're going to love me someday. I promise you're going to love me someday. And then years later, or not years later, months later, you'll see me running around the arena on foot and the owner on the horse and me jumping over jumps, and the horse, she just gives the horse the freedom to do whatever, and the horse is following me all over the arena, jumping the jumps behind me, the whole 9 yards, and can't seem to pull herself away from me. Even when she's riding her, she's finding the horse is very drawn to come back to me. And you'll hear in those videos, I'll be like, I told you you're going to love me someday. I have no doubt in my mind that the clarity of communication between myself and somebody's horse is going to be so clear that the horse is going to seek that guidance. The horse is going to look for me. And I consider that a good review. I think if you're looking for a trainer, you're going to want a good review. And getting a good review from another human is great. It's great. But if your horse gives that person a good review, that's the trainer you want. That's the trainer you want.